You're tuned into Animals and Ames, and with the Ames Animal Shelter. I'm going to talk fast about this kitty. His name is Casey. We found him in a dumpster at a Casey's gas station. He is a neutered and declawed male. He was when we found him, so we know he was someone's pet at one time. We don't know what happened to break down that human-animal bond. He does not have a microchip. We've kept him for 7 days to give the original owner a chance to come and get him and explain what might have happened there. But I also wanted to put Casey on today because it's cold, and cats that are outside can succumb to frostbite, and it looks like he's had a little frostbite on his right ear. And so just a good rule of thumb, if it's too cold for you to be outside for a long time without risk of frostbite or hypothermia, it's too cold for your pet. And we need to protect them from extreme temperatures, especially in a state like Iowa where we get to have it all temperature-wise. And Casey is now available for adoption. He's a very active, very affectionate cat, but he does like to explore, and he's very curious. And he wants, so okay, that's it for Casey. So our next guest is a little puppy that we were called to come and pick up from a home that had been, the woman took the puppy from a home. She was concerned about the fact that the puppies were all being let go into new homes at such a young age, 4 or 5 weeks, and a lot of animals were present in the household. And this was the remaining puppy. And it's not a good thing to get a dog before, about 7 or 8 weeks old. They're so vulnerable. They need to be with their mother. They need to be with litter mates. They can learn appropriate behavior like biting hurts. So this little puppy will have some challenges in learning the things that its mother would have naturally taught him. This puppy's going to need to be taught those things by a human, and we're not always as good at teaching as mother dogs are. So just a sweetheart. We're going to look for a foster home for this little one. It would be ideal to have it around other puppies at this age. It will eventually go up for adoption. We were told it's a heeler cross, which is a cattle dog, a very active farm dog. And so it will grow into a dog that needs a lot of training and a lot of stimulation. They're usually a very intelligent dog, and right now it's just a vulnerable little puppy missing its litter mates. For more information about this one, you can call the animal shelter. Our next guest is Odin. And he is a wonderful little shepherd heeler cross, 7-year-old neutered male. And he's telling me that he has some stress to let go of. And he's had kind of a rough time. His former owner lost their job, lost their spouse, and lost their home, all within a very short time period. And Odin could no longer be kept by this person. And so Odin was put up for adoption here at the shelter. He did adopt, but in an attempt to make him an indoor-outdoor dog and not allow him inside when he wanted to be with people, this really stressed Odin out, and he destroyed the porch that he was left on. And unfortunately for Odin, what he was saying is he was just really wanting to be with people, but that home did not work out for him. So what we think is going to work really well for Odin, because he's an awesome dog, is to let him be with you. Let him be your house dog, take him for walks, and when you leave, put him in a crate or kennel and teach him to be respectful and calm while in there. Odin, can you sit? Good boy. And he does take command and direction really well from people. And we've been really impressed with him. He's one of our favorites. And you gotta love those ears. Odin is available for adoption, and he's ready to be comforted and understood. He'll probably be stressed and talk to you for the first few days about everything he's been through, and then he calms down. In freezing temperatures, there are several things we need to be aware of and concerned about for pet animals. If they're outdoors, they need to have a dog house, for example, with a dog that is raised up off the ground, that's well insulated, has a warming cedar chip type base inside for them to crawl into in a warm bed, a flap on the door, and they need to be facing away from the wind. Wind chill can affect animals just like it affects people. Signs of hypothermia are going to be a weak pulse, dilated pupils, pale or blue mucous membranes, a dizzy animal, a body temperature below 95 degrees, and can lead to unconsciousness. If you feel that your animal is affected by these, you need to warm them gradually and get them to a veterinarian as soon as possible. Be aware that road salt and sands that are used can irritate their paws, so if you walk your dogs, and we hope you do even when it's cold out for short brisk walks, just check their paw pads and wipe them off after you're done walking. Outside water dishes, dogs won't lick ice. We suggest that you use plastic bowls and not metal so the dog's tongue won't stick to the plastic. And make sure that you break the ice and provide fresh water several times a day. Some dogs will refuse to use a doghouse, and they actually have to be taught and trained how to do that. They would rather be out hoping that you'll notice them and bring them in the house with you. So you may have to train them if they refuse to use the doghouse. So sometimes just providing the house is not enough. You'll want to increase food for animals who are outdoors in cold weather, because it takes a lot of energy for them to shiver and stay warm. So they'll need at least, an extra cup a day for large dogs and so forth. Just watch them closely, make sure you know what their body condition is. Cleaning the environment is very important, even in the wintertime, and particularly after those first thaws. Your neighbors will be aware of a lot of waste accumulation. There will be an odor involved, and it's unpleasant for your animals, so that needs to be picked up promptly. For cats, the biggest risk is, of course, antifreeze, and for dogs as well. It's a sweet-tasting chemical that can poison them, so be aware of antifreeze spills and mop them up appropriately. Antifreeze is also dangerous to have around children as well. There are some pet-safe type antifreeze products available that you can switch and use to, and there are some ice melt products that are gentler on animal paws, and so you just want to read the labels on those. Cats will seek warmth in the engine of cars, and so if you go out to start your car and you notice paw prints around, or you know that there are loose cats in the area, pound on the hood and honk the horn before you start the car. And for more information about keeping animals safe in temperatures, whether it be below 0 temperatures or the hot temperatures of Iowa summer, you can give us a call or visit our webpage. Thank you for tuning in to Animals in Ames today. Stop on out to the shelter and visit all of our Faces Needing Places.